Hello everyone, myself Dr. Smriti Mathur, and this is your fifth lecture of Human Resource Management and Development. In this video, we will discuss about Human Resource Development Matrix, which includes your Human Resource Mechanism, Value Anchored Human Resource Development Process, Human Development Process and Outcome, as well as Organizational Effectiveness due to Human Resource Development Activities. When we talk about human resource development matrix shows the interrelationship between instruments, processes, outcomes, as well as organizational effectiveness. So when we talk about interrelationship between these four components, that is your mechanism or subsystem or instruments and processes and outcome variables, as well as the impact of these variables on organizational effectiveness, then interrelationship is your matrix. So we will discuss about these components in detail one by one. Firstly, I will discuss about human resource development mechanism. Human resource development mechanism is actually concerned with how an organizational framework is helpful in improving and developing human capital, for which management implements a certain system and or we can say subsystem or instruments. So these instruments, these subsystems or these mechanisms are important for developing the capabilities of employees, as well as for improving and motivating them to work for the benefit of organization. So human resource development is actually implemented to gain competitive edge in the marketplace through a competent and capable workforce. So, methods of human resource development can focus on teaching necessary skills to their employees on how they can perform their duties, how to utilize their resources, how to accomplish any task, or how to give 100% or a maximum output to organization. So all these subsystems, mechanisms and instruments are useful for the organization. We have discussed these points in my previous lecture also. I will explain you these points again shortly. In short, number one is your performance appraisal. In performance appraisal, we are concerned with appraising the performance of employees, that is whether their work was up to the mark or not, whether they have performed their activities according to the standards, and if there is any deviation, then they can take controllable measures to reduce that deviation. So with the help of performance appraisal, we actually try to measure the output with the standards, and then if there is any deviation, we try to control that deviation. Second is your potential appraisal. Potential appraisal is actually related to future potential of employees. For example, if we are concerned with appraisal of employee on the basis of work that has already been performed, it's your performance appraisal. And if we are concerned with the appraisal of the potential, where that is whether he will be able to face any situation or solve any problem, an expected problem, then that is skill and knowledge is your potential appraisal. That is skill, knowledge and proficiency of human capital to face future situation, to grab future opportunities and to deal with future unexpected situation. So that is your potential appraisal. Career planning, okay, that is you are concerned with the career of your humans, your human capital. Then training is actually provided to perform to perform activities related to specific job. Okay, so that is your training. When we talk about counseling, counseling is provided to employees, to human capital within an organization, to reduce their psychological dilemma, psychological any psychological disadvantages. Okay, so no. Employee counseling is also an important element of human resource development. It is the process of dealing with the emotional problems or the issues of employees that they feel when they are working in an organization. So it is actually related to appraisal counseling, career counseling, disciplinary counseling. Any kind of counseling is related to employee counseling that enables employees to work positively for the organization and more enthusiastically for the benefit of organization. So counseling activity is important to motivate your employees as well as to improve their effectiveness. Okay, because in this competitive era, everyone is facing with some psychological error, psychological problem. So to deal with that psychological problem or to reduce that psychological problem, employee counseling plays an important role. Then organizational development is also important. Rewards that is along with your salary and wages which you provide to your employees, what are the other rewards you are giving to those employees? Because these rewards plays a very important role in motivating them to work for the organization. So if you are giving them rewards, then they feel enthusiastic, they feel that they are important part of organization, and you feel the importance of that employee in an organization. So rewards are important. Employee welfare, you have to think about the welfare of employee, because here we are concerned with how managers deals with the welfare of employees. Okay, that is, since employees are considered as an asset of an organization, so welfare must be given importance. Welfare includes your proper healthy and hygiene working conditions, cohesive working environment, etc. So that actually motivate them for exhibiting better performance at work. And last is your quality circle. Quality circle is the small group, okay, of workers engaged in similar kind of job. So these are some mechanisms, instruments or subsystems which proves to be helpful in or which enables improving the capabilities of individual, DATs, teams, as well as the entire organization. Okay, so this is all about HRD mechanism. Now we will move further and we will discuss about next component of HRD matrix, which includes your HRD process. But before discussing about HRD process, one important concept which you should understand is your value anchored HRD process. Value anchored HRD process means that is the concept of HRD is not value free. Okay, value free means that is every employee is important for organization. When we talk about human resource development, there are three meanings attached to the concept of human resource development. Number one is persons working in an organizations are regarded as valuable resources. Why valuable resources? Because with the help of these human resources only, other resources of organizations are efficiently utilized. And with the help of these efficient utilization of these resources, organization is able to attain or achieve their objectives. So persons working in an organization are valuable resources. Number two is that HR in organization have unique traits, unique personalities, unique characteristics. We all know that every person is different from another person. So human resources working in an organization are also unique in their own way, and they are to deal with these unique personalities, we need different kind of different kind of strategies, different kind of development processes, different kind of development techniques to motivate them. So these human resources are have unique characteristics. And lastly, these human resource development activities does not merely focus on employees as individuals, but also on other social units and progress. Okay, that is when they are working in an organization, they interact with other people working in an organization. So when they are working as individual, they have different working environment, different way to deal with the situation. But when they are working in organization as a team, they interact with other individuals. So when they interact with other individuals, their behavior changes, their way of dealing with the situation changes. Okay, so that human resource development deals with that situation also. Okay, so here there are six human units, okay, which are concerned with value anchored process of human resource development. So if you want to understand value anchored HRD process, we have to understand these six human units. Okay, so number one is your individual employee. Individual employee is the key unit in an organization. Okay, we have discussed earlier also the importance of human resource. Human resource development is concerned with the development of these key units in the organization. So when we talk about individual employees are able to have their own fulfillment and contribute to the goal of organization. That is, they should be motivated on their own to work for the organization, to give their 100% for organization. So that includes actually three important process: self-management, competence building, and advancement. Self-management means that is employee is managing her or himself. Okay, that is no external factor is playing an important role for management of that individual. They are self-managed, self-motivated to work for the organization. Okay, they involve learning to set realistic goals. The goals must be achievable. The individuals should also learn to analyze the performance process in terms of the factors responsible for the success or failure in achieving the performance results. Some of the factors related to employees' self-motivation, while others are concerned with external conditions. So self-management involves using information and competencies to improve self-performance in future. So you are concerned with self-performance as for present situation as well as for future situation. Second is your competence building. Competence building means that is the main contribution of HRD to individual development in the form of building competencies required for better performance on the job. That is their educational performance, educational background, strength, weaknesses, everything plays an important role in building competence of individual. Okay, and these competencies help him or her to work effectively for organizational goal. Okay, so competence building is important. Then advancement. Advancement means that is every employee wants to advance his or her career in the organization. Okay, so when we talk about human resource development, that helps employees in advancing their skills, their knowledge, their capabilities, so that they are able to face new challenges progressively. So these are the three important process for the development of individuals in an organization. That is your self-development, competence building, as well as advancement. Second is your role. Second important part of value anchored human resource development process is the role. Role refers to the position a person occupies. It is defined by the expectations from different significant persons who have direct interactive relationship with the role occupied. When we talk about role is actually when all the individual employee performs various complex roles in an organization, but every role is different from another role. They have to perform those roles independently. Okay, so to perform those roles, there are three main aspects of the development process of that role. Number one is your optimum stress. Optimum stress is actually important for efficient work of the human resource. When we talk about stress up to a certain level proves to be beneficial for your working performance. When we are in stress, we are able to give maximum to the organization. That is, we get maximum to we give maximum for the completion of our work, but stress should be up to certain level. If stress increases or cross that level, then that actually converts to negative impact on your performance. So you should aware about the level up to which your stress is stress is positive for the organization. Second is your linkage. Linkage means that is every role in an organization should be linked with other roles or other organizational goals. When there will be for example, if the role of of a human resource gets isolated, then their performance will be reduced. They will feel that their role is not important for organization. So if they are allowed to work in a wider group, then they get a sense of belongingness with the organization, and they give 100% for the benefit of organization. So what they should do, they should build a link among roles as well as link of different roles with challenging goals. Okay, next is your autonomy. Autonomy means that is an attempt to develop a sense of autonomy where everyone has given enough scope to take initiative, solve problems, or do creative work. So this way, when they get autonomy, they are they feel connected with the organization, and as a result of which they feel that their role is important for organization and their activities proves to be beneficial for the success of organization. Next is your DIAD. DIAD means that is the relationship between employers and employees. It is a building block of organizational culture. Okay, so stronger the relationship, stronger the organization will be. Okay, so it includes trust, mutuality, as well as communication. Trust among human resources working in an organization. Human resources includes between the acts between employee and his immediate superior. If they don't trust each other, then organizational performance will be affected. Organizational productivity will be affected. So trust becomes an important part for the success of organization. Next is a mutuality. That is, effective drafts will will require exchange of help between employee and the supervisor. That is, they should help each other for the accomplishment of their goals. They should not work in isolation. If they will work in isolation, then there will be miscommunication, there will be duplication of work. Okay, so they should not work in isolation. They should work together, or we can say work mutually, or they should help each other, so that they collectively get effective result, which would be beneficial for achieving organizational goal. And last is your communication. Improving communication between supervisor and employee is important, because unless and until they will communicate with each other, they will not be able to perform well, because some information which needs to be communicated will not be communicated, then the result will be different from what is actually expected. So the employee should improve his ability to receive feedback, and the supervisor should improve his competence to coach his employee. So communication from both the side is important. Next is your team. Team is also important. That is, when you are working in a team, your behavior, your work environment, your way of dealing with the situation entirely changes. So the way you are behaving in a team is important for organizational effectiveness. The first point is cohesion. Cohesion is the degree to which members of a team are connected to each other. Okay, so if the high cohesiveness is there, then there will be synergy, and they will be able to improve their productivity, and the performance of employees will get improved. Then resource utilization. If team members will work together, then the resource utilization will be efficient. There will be no wastage of resources, and they will be able to get maximum output with the help of that limited resources. Next is your inter-teams. Okay, inter-teams means that is to develop cooperation among various groups in an organization. In teams, we were discussing about cooperation among team members, but in inter-team, we are concerned about cooperation among groups. For example, there are 4 teams, then these 4 teams should work in cooperation with each other, so that their work collectively contributes to organizational effectiveness. So here, when we talk about inter-teams, it includes cooperation among various groups in the organization, various divisions, departments, functions, etc., so that they are able to work effectively towards common objectives. And last is your organization. When we talk about organization, it includes all the activities in organization should be related to growth of the organization. It should be, that is, it should increase in size, activities as well as operation. Second is impact. It should be kept in mind that organizational activities should have positive impact on outside organization or customers. Positive impact maybe in the form of introduced technology, maybe in the form of finding out new ways to satisfy your customer needs. So in this way, you are contributing, that is the impact of your activities on other organization, on other customers. So this is your organization impact. And self-renewal, that is, organization must examine themselves from time to time, and they should take corrective actions if any deviation found, and if there is any technological advancement, then they should take a step to improve, to adapt that technology, and to train their human resources, to develop their human resources to perform their activities according to that updated technology. So these are the 6 human units which are important for human resource development process. Why? Because it is considered that people working in an organizations are valuable resources, and to manage those human resources is important for overall development of human resource. Now next is the human resource process. Human resource development and interventions can be used to address a wide range of issues and problems in an organization. They are used to orient, socialize new employees into the organization, provide skills and knowledge, help individuals and groups become more effective. Okay, so with the help of this process, it is ensured that goals of the organization is achieved, and if there is any deviation, then we can find out that deviation and take corrective actions to reduce that deviation and to ensure that deviation should not be found in future course of action. So it is a 4-step process or sequence which includes your need assessment, design, implementation, and evaluation. Okay, so it is ADIME framework. A means assessment, D means design, IM means implementation, and E means evaluate. So you can see here, assessment includes your assess needs, prioritize needs. Design includes your define objective, design, develop lesson plan, then acquire materials, select trainers, select methods and techniques, and schedule the program and intervention. Okay, then implementing the program and then evaluating. So we will discuss about these steps of the process in detail. Number 1 is your assessment phase. Assessment phase is the phase in which we try to find out the need of the human resource. That is, we try to examine, understand the performance of the employees, job task, and organizational environment. With the help of this assessment, okay, further steps of human resource development process is followed. Okay, so it is a first step that requires identifying the specific skill set requirements as per the job performance. Analyzing or assessing training need depends upon what the organization expects from the staff and what it gets. Okay, so if there is a gap between these two, that is what is expected and what is actually present in the organization, to reduce that gap, assessment is to find out that gap, assessment phase is required. So it includes your need assessment and gap analysis. Need assessment means in this assessment we try to find out the need of human resources. Okay, that is what skill is required. Okay, the total existing skill in the organization and skill required and gap between them can be calculated. So identifying needs involves examining an organization, its environment, job tasks, and employee performance. So it can be used to establish priorities for expanding human resource development efforts, define specific training and human resource development objectives, and establish evaluation criteria. Okay, next is when the gap analysis. Gap analysis means it is a difference between actual performance and desired performance. So this gap analysis can be found out by analyzing the current situation as well as the desired situation. Okay. Once you have assessed your skill required, the gap analysis, second phase is your design phase. That is designing the training and development programs. Okay, and that is important. Designing training and development programs. It involves designing the program and intervention that includes training and development methods. It involves a process of 6 steps, which starts with define objectives. That is, the objective of training and development should be defined beforehand. That is why this training and development program is important for organization. Second is develop lesson plan. Lesson plans, that is, it involves development of that is, it includes describing the training course and instructions. That is, how training will be provided, to whom training will be provided, and what are the various instructions for the learners. So develop lesson plan. Third is next is your develop and acquire material. Develop and acquire material means that is it is you who has to decide about on the job training or off the job training. According to the method you decide for providing training to your learners, you have to acquire or develop material. So after deciding about lesson plan, you have to decide about materials or raw material, acquiring and development of material. Next is your select trainer and leader. That is, it is important for the selection of right trainer and right leader. Okay, if you wish to enhance the skill of employees, so it can be right trainer is along with right leader, right trainer is also important. Then selecting methods and techniques, that is which technique you are using. Okay, that is your lecture, role play, conference, group discussion, online training technique, etc. So these are the selecting methods and techniques. Then schedule the program and intervention, that is, it is scheduling the final training program done after the accumulation of resources. That is, you have to perform all the activities of training program according to the norms, rules, policies, procedures, and principles of organization in which you are dealing with. So these are the 6 steps of designing a training program, training development program, and intervention for learners. Then implementation phase, that is after deciding about or designing the training and development, what is the next important thing? Implementation phase. That is, you have to ensure that the training and development program is properly implemented for the successful delivery of assessment and design phase. Okay, so the plans or response must be implemented using the most appropriate and reliable method. The implementation of HRD program is done by delivering most appropriate training session as per the requirements of the firm. So when we talk about implementation phase, once the training need and goals decided, the implementation of training program will begin. So implementation includes on the job training, off the job training, apprenticeship training, internet based training, etc. So it is you who have to decide about the way of implementation of your training and development program. And last is your evaluation phase. Once you have implemented, you have to evaluate whether that training and development program was beneficial for the organization. Was it helpful in improving the performance of the employees? Was it helpful in improving the effectiveness of the organization? Okay, if it is helpful in motivating employees to work with more enthusiasm, and if it is increasing the effectiveness of the organization, if it encourages its employees to work with more engagement and excitement, as well as it is contributing to the effectiveness of the organization, then that training and development program proves to be beneficial for organization. And if you find any deviation, then corrective measures can be taken with the help of this evaluation phase. So these are the 4 steps of HRD process. Then what is the outcome of this HRD process? Okay, we have studied that HRD matrix includes firstly HRD mechanism, instruments or subsystem, which leads to what? which leads to your organizational process. Okay, then after evaluating, then you have to find out what is the outcome of your HRD. Okay, so HRD process should result in more competent, satisfied and committed people that would make the organization grow by contributing their best to it. Okay, so HRD outcome is, it is the process of identifying, nurturing, and enhancing the skills, attitude, and perception of the people in any organization. So it can be recognized, the importance of HRD process can be recognized if it is giving positive outcome. Now, what is the outcome? HRD process should increase the competency level of employees. It should enhance their horizons of vision and performance. Employees should become more competent and more committed towards the organization, as well as a sense of belongingness should be there with the organization. Team spirit among employees in the organization should go up. Okay, collaboration and teamwork should produce synergy effect, as well as employees should be feel capable enough to handle competition and should be able to accept or ready to accept any kind of change introduces in the organization. So these are the outcomes of human resource development. Now, last is your human resource development effectiveness. The first researcher who has attempted to provide a definition of organizational effectiveness was Bernard in the year 1938, where he defined it as any activity associated with the success of achieving the objective for which this activity was established. Okay, so if your HRD process proves to be, if the outcomes which we have discussed just now, if your activities are able to produce those outcomes, then that proves to be effective for organization. So it is the concept of how effective an organization is in achieving the outcome of organization intends to produce. So if your HRD process is capable to achieve these outcomes, then it is said that your activities, your training and development programs are helpful in increasing or improving the effectiveness of your organization. It can't be measured by a single approach only. It is a multi-approach concept. In literature, there are 4 key approaches for measurement of effectiveness: goal approach, system resource approach, strategic constituency approach, and competing value approach. Okay, so thank you so much for thank you. So thank you so much. In this video, we have discussed about important components of HRD matrix, which is important for us to understand, which includes your instruments, your process, outcome, as well as effectiveness. Thank you so much.